So this is my first video where I try to present the subject of towards minor sex offenders. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past 8-7 years, towards minor sex offenders like Jeffrey Epstein and people who he has interacted with, some of them, not all of them, they are towards minor sex offenders. And society's stance on these is quite harsh at the moment. I understand, I know that myself because, well, as I said, I don't live under a rock. I read the news. I know that many people think that there's where the line goes, that towards minor sex offenders cannot be integrated into society. But this isn't actually the case. This is not true. Towards minor sex offenders are not kept out of society rationally and out of necessity like murderers. Murderers need to be kept out of society because they have caused too much damage. You can't pay that back. A murderer, if everyone was a murderer, society would collapse. It's simple like that. They are too destructive. They cause too much. They're too dangerous. Murderers are kept out of society out of necessity and rationale. But towards minor sex offenders, the damage they have done, the hurt they have caused, is not of the same degree. It is not of such degree that they cannot be integrated into society. In fact, really, it's only for some people who feel that they want their kids to be have a special, receive special safety, a special level of safety, that some do that. Some people think that, oh no, towards minor sex offenders, because they pose a risk, because they pose a slight danger towards minors, people think that we have to keep them out of society totally. But that is not rational. That is not the case. You don't need to do that. I personally think it's super stupid, because I know so many people and growing up who at around that age, 17, 18, messed up, hit their toes, so to say, on the towards minor sex offender laws. And these are good people who contribute much to society. I do not think that they are incompatible with society at all. I think they are. And well, rationally thinking, not dogmatically or hysterically, towards minor sex offenders are fully possible to integrate in society. They do not pose such a risk, such a danger, that they cannot be in society or have jobs like murderers. That is where the line goes. At murder, they cannot be out in the general public. They need to be kept away from the general public. They're kept in a cell, kept there for the rest of their existence. But towards minor sex offenders, some people feel that because they have slight danger to minors, they do not want them in society. But again, this is irrational. This is not a necessity. And I want society at large to start accepting towards minor sex offenders into it. I think it's just a dogma and stigma, irrational dogma stigma, that keeps towards minor sex offenders out of society. So well, that's it. To sum up, towards minor sex offenders do not need to be kept out of society out of necessity and rationale like murderers. They are fully possible to integrate into society and have jobs and have lives and have family, because they do not pose that great a danger. That was this video. See you in the next one.